This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 582, Game Boys and 401ks by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. And I'm Dan, your host and narrator, bringing you some of the best blogs on personal finance. I'm here every weekday doing just that. And I want to give a big thank you today to Abby Connect. Did you know that 80% of callers hang up when they reach a voicemail? Whether you're busy or on the go, Abby Connect's virtual receptionists delight and convert your business callers through the perfect mix of professionalism and charm. Missed calls mean missed business. So sign up for a free 14-day trial at abbyconnect.com/finance. For now, let's get to today's post as we start optimizing your life. Game Boys and 401ks by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. There are two instances in my life where saving really started making sense. The first when I wanted a Nintendo Game Boy more than my own parents, and the second when I hit my first $50,000 in my 401k. Both drastically different stories and decades of my life, but both with the same underlying takeaway. Saving feels better when it starts adding up. Now, obviously, this is a no-brainer, but it took me quite a while to figure out, as dumb as that may or may not make me. It wasn't until an interview I did with Kathy Kristoff of the LA Times 4 years ago when it finally sunk in. She was doing an article on bloggers and their frugal living tips, and as always, I managed to throw in something about my love for 401ks, which I was obsessing about back then. For years, my dad had told me to pay attention to it and soak up as much free money from my employers as I could get, since a lot of them had some awesome matchings going on. But it took me some time to get going, and when I did, I got hardcore about it, to the tune of socking away 90% of my paychecks and living off pennies until my 401k was maxed out. Man, those were the days. Here's a clip from the article. Quote, J Money of Budgets Are Sexy, www.budgetsaresexy.com, yes, that's his nom de plume, he doesn't want his boss to know his sideline, is only 29, but he has $115,000 in his retirement plan. Why? He decided to make the most of the free money he got in 401k matching contributions from his employer by saving the maximum amount possible each year. Better yet, seeing the balance rise so rapidly has inspired him. It's hard to get motivated when you're just watching your $50 or $100 contributions adding up, he said. But when I hit $50,000, I thought, this is so cool and it's easy. Now I'm used to living on less, so it's not that hard to save. End quote. I was saying that second to last line there out loud, which really gave me the epiphany. The "this is so cool" part. It was. I was finally saving money, and it was all because I had gotten over the tipping point of when all that hustling and frugality started becoming more worth it. It's a lot more motivating to see $50,000 in an account because of your diligence than, say, $50, even though that's where we all have to start out. It was at that point, though, when it really sunk in, and I knew I had to keep on going strong and never look back. And here we are 4 years later. This is similar to my childhood days of trying to save up for the original Nintendo Game Boys circa 1989. Every kid in the world wanted that thing, but it was just too hard saving $1 here and there to finally reach the grand finale of $90 to get it. I'd save at best $5 or $10, or maybe even $15, and then I'd give up and start all over again. The pain of it taking forever and not being able to spend money killed all kinds of motivation for me, especially since my allowance back then was only $1 a week. Do you know how long 90 weeks is to a kid, when there's candy and baseball cards and everything else trying to tempt you? To make a long story short, I failed over and over and over again trying to save up for that thing until one day I hit my record of $40. Again, that tipping point where it got a lot easier to keep saving week after week, and faster too, it seemed, because I had crossed over that hump where the stash just got larger and larger every time I peered in. For the first time ever, I felt like Scrooge McDuck, minus the ability to dive into my cash hoard. After hitting that first $40, I eventually got to $50, then $70, and finally landed at $80. When I did a complete 180 and realized I no longer wanted to spend all my money on that Game Boy anymore. A, because it took me forever and a day to save up, and B, because it was a lot harder to spend my own money, I found, than my parents'. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? Now, eventually, I got my hands on that coveted little system, $30 used at a yard sale with games. But the point is, I had to cross that tipping point first if I ever wanted to save a large enough chunk at any point in my life, and to hold on to it too, for that matter. I didn't magically wake up one day and start saving just because I wanted to. Every time I tried that, I failed over and over again. I had to somehow get to a decent number in my account first to then lock me into the game and keep me from going backwards again. And that number only increased as my years of age did. I'm not sure if this helps any of you or not right now, but it popped into my head this morning, so I thought I'd share it on the off chance it does. Sometimes I find going back to the basics refreshing. Who doesn't like the power of momentum? You just listened to the post titled Game Boys and 401ks by Jay Money of budgetsaresexy.com. And thank you once again to Abby Connect Virtual Receptionists for sponsoring this podcast. Abby Connect is the leading live receptionist service which helps your business screen, qualify, and convert incoming calls. Did you know that 80% of business callers don't leave a message when they reach a voicemail? Missed calls are missed opportunities. And Abby Connect offers guaranteed and professional call answering at a fraction of the cost of a receptionist or assistant. The Abby Connect receptionists are trained specifically on your business and provide the perfect mixture of high-end call reception and cost efficiency. Businesses working with Abby Connect report great savings, higher revenue, and more time to focus on growing their company. Our listeners will receive a free 14-day trial and $95 off their first bill if they sign up at abbyconnect.com/finance. That's abbyconnect.com/finance. And we thank them for sponsoring this podcast. And that'll do it for another installment of Optimal Finance Daily. Have a happy Tuesday, and thanks so much for listening all the way through. I'll see you in the Wednesday show tomorrow, where we'll start a 2-part post from Ramit Sethi. See you there, where your optimal life awaits.